Welcome to Girls Who Read Porn. Please be advised that this podcast contains mature content for mature audiences. The title might have given that away though. We would also advise you triple check the trigger warnings of each book prior to the episode, and if it's not for you, we'll see you next week. Each episode includes major spoilers, so make sure you read the book, and don't say we didn't warn you. With all that in mind, on with the show.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Girls Who Read Porn. It's me, G, and I'm here with the usual, the lovely Betty.
Hello.
And Ola. How are you guys?
Do I not get a lovely ahead of my name? Like what's with that?
It was like the lovely Betty and Ola.
Oh, I get it. Okay, well
That's
thank
what
you.
It was meant to be.
I feel very good being lovely.
Yeah. That's like an Oxford comma moment right there.
No, just tired. It's been a week.
You've been busy.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
This is.
It's been a week. It's Tuesday.
It feels like it's been like a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It always happens at the end of the year, right? Like November, December, the three of us are just like fucking hot mess alert.
Just start to flare, like things just start to go downhill.
Yeah.
As soon as like October starts, it's like my gas tank is running low.
I know, it's really hard.
My gas tank's empty. I've been running on empty for like at least a month now. I'm on the reserve. I'm on a reserve tank. That's what I'm doing. This is my backup fuel.
I'm a month away from flying out and not having Wi-Fi for 2 weeks, and I am counting down the days of like not having any access to the internet. Are you just gonna like,
what do you do? Are you just gonna like download like a shitload of books?
Yeah, I'm gonna download a shit ton of books, and I don't know if they're gonna be romance.
My biggest fear is like, my biggest fear is like not downloading enough books.
Yeah.
When I know I'm going to be away from it. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be camping for like 1 day. So I'll download like 5 books.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But I think I will have internet, like if I go to a restaurant or something. It's just like my accommodation and where I'm like staying majority of the time will have no internet. So if I get desperate, I can just go to another resort and download some shit. But we specifically chose
Where are you going?
The Cook Islands. New Zealand.
It's going to be toasty.
Yeah, man. I plan to fry my ass on that island.
I bet you do.
I'm excited. It's going to be a good time.
What else is it to do?
Eat fresh fish, fry my ass.
Swim.
Well, that's what I mean. Fry, swim.
Fry some more. Sleep. Wake up. Go drink alcohol.
Oh, I wish.
Man.
My version of a holiday at this time of year is going to Auckland to see my family.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And it's like not a holiday at all. It's like absolute bedlam.
I think this is the first time in my life that I'm actually having a relaxing holiday though, because every other holiday I've had has been like moving around to different cities within a couple of days and then like, you know, traveling, hardcore traveling. This is actually a relaxed holiday. So I'm either going to make or break or have like a full-blown mental breakdown throughout this.
What are you going to have?
Because I'm going to have nothing to do. And it's the first time in my life.
You and Josh will break up or something because you have to like talk to him.
Well, we're going. I rarely see him, so this is going to be like really interesting. But we're going because he likes to surf, so I imagine that he's going to be surfing most of the time, which I'm good with. Like it's good to have that space as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine going on a reading holiday with someone that doesn't read.
The thing is that he just doesn't read though, like anything. I am so excited to like fully 2 weeks straight tan. I've never done it before. I'm interested in what the outcome's going to be. I'm either going to come out.
What color do you think?
Well, normally I go golden, like crumpet, like golden crumpet.
Yeah. Like a toasted crumpet? Or just like a crumpet like straight out the packet?
No, one that's been toasted, like you know how it gets that
with a bit of butter on it?
Yes, you know what I'm saying. I go crumpet.
Yeah.
That's my color. Like most people probably go like the skin of a coconut. I go the crumpet route. You know what I'm saying?
I did the worst thing possible. I got a really big tattoo just before summer, so I'll be hiding from the sun.
Yeah, you have to cover it
No
up.
bueno.
Yeah,
Lots of sleeves for you this summer.
just a sleeve, just one
Can
sleeve.
you just imagine her walking
Asymmetrical.
around with one sleeve missing and the other one just super long, and it's a new style.
Be like a bandage.
And then everyone in Dunedin,
hurt yourself.
Everyone in Dunedin sees her with it, and they think it's the new style, and they all start doing it. So everyone walks around with one fucking long sleeve, and then no sleeve.
Everybody's gonna look at Betty and go, "That's the style."
I was gonna say that is a very lovely compliment. I'm not
I
a
think
style
that you
icon.
are the most stylish lady.
I dress like a 12-year-old boy, but thank you very much.
Nice.
A 12-year-old boy that's going to his first football game.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of plain black men's t-shirts and fabric shorts.
Nice. Good stuff. What are we talking about this week?
No.
We're talking about The Deer and the Losers Duet by Harley Laroux. So, Do we have some ratings? Do we have a couple ratings?
Can I rate the books differently?
Yeah, can I rate
because
different
I feel like this was
I agree.
one of the most difficult series to rate. And the reason is because the first book, the prequel, was fucking amazing. That gets a 5 from me.
Oh,
yeah.
The novella.
The novella, unreal.
Amazing.
Yes, 5
stars. The second book, I could give it a 4 because I managed to just get through it. But the first book. So first book, The Losers.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 3.5, maybe a 4, but it's pushing it because it was aggressive. And then
I give that one a 2.
I understand that. But see, that's the thing. Yeah. I totally I can see why. There's not even whatever. I get it. And then the third book, I can't even rate it because I DNF'd it.
I can't rate it.
I DNF'd it. I read the epilogue.
And
do you know what the most amazing part is? I didn't even have to read the whole fucking book to understand the epilogue.
That's what I was about to say. I read the first 200 pages, and then I read the last 3 chapters, including the epilogue. And yes,
I just gave up.
Also can't read it.
I read 50%.
I'm like,
and I was like, I can't read another fucking sex scene. I can't physically do it. If I read another sex scene, I will never have sex again, and I can't do that to myself because it has literally turned me off sex so bad because there was too much sex and it dried me up like the fucking Sahara Desert. The Dare, amazing. I almost mounted Josh in public. Okay? The last book, if he even looked at me funny, I would be like, turn around, I'm going to smack you. Don't even look at me right now. It was fucking stupid.
I DNF'd the part 2, the last book, when it comes to the bit where she's starting to tell them all that she loves them, but it's just the exact same description for every chapter, just a different dude.
Get that far.
I'm
proud of you that you got that far.
It's and then I was like, that's it. This was a couple of hours ago. It took me so long. I could try to read this book for 5 days.
That fucking duet could have been a novella. The whole duet could have been a novella. That's the thing. It didn't even need to be an actual novel. It could have just been a novella.
I was talking to Betty earlier, and I was like, the problem here is that she released this novella. It was incredible. It was short, snappy, super spicy, exactly what you'd want from a steamy novella. Why didn't she just release 3 novellas?
Why?
You know,
well,
I was reading
so many sex scenes
online.
Never in my life.
Because when I read a book and I don't particularly like it and it has really good reviews, I always go onto TikTok to find out what's happening. Am I the problem, basically? And I am in this situation. People fucking love this series. They stand by it. It's their comfort reads. They reread it all the time. I don't get it.
Maybe,
but
maybe November's not the right time of the year to read it for us, though. We have to think about our mindsets as well.
Yeah, maybe we're all just a bit fatigued.
Like this book. Ever.
Maybe we are book, but honestly, I love a fast burn,
apparently,
but fuck me in the ass. That was just this is stupid. I don't know how else to explain it. The whole thing is fucking stupid. And I wanted to mention this today. I was going to the gym and I was thinking it the whole time. If we choose another popular book, I'm going to fly to New Zealand and slap someone because we're not doing it anymore. This is it. This is enough. I'm putting my fucking foot down because I cannot trust
because
the people.
I saw this book everywhere, right? And I was
Everywhere.
like, that
Same.
seems like I picked it because I was like, that seems like a bit of me, right? Like a dark romance, like
But the dare was
polyamory.
a bit of us.
The dare was, yeah.
When I read the dare, I
That-
messaged
yeah.
you guys and I'm like, the dare's making me feel some things because it fucking was. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be released. Losers Part 1 and 2 was meant to be released as a 1,000-page one book, a singular
God.
book, a bit like Jade West's Perfect Strangers. Like it was meant to be released like that. It was only forced to be separated because of like a publishing reason or something.
There is no way
That's
a person can read that in one book.
yeah,
I
that would
feel
have been way too
But
much.
it makes more
Logistically,
sense
it being a duet makes more sense than it being one book.
It was just
I
so
think
much.
it makes sense to know that it was one book
Yeah.
because it was just a continuous line, and the overall story arch did happen
What story?
throughout the two books. It wasn't like, well, there wasn't really a story, but what I'm saying is like usually like even with the duet you have like the regular story arch, like the beginning, the crux, like the resolution, the end, right? And we'd have it in both of the books despite them being a duet or not. But with this book, it's across both of the books. You have the beginning, the middle being like the end of the first book, the start of the second, the crux being like a little bit into the second book, and then the end.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was like thinking about this earlier as well. It was like normally when we talk about books that we really like, then I talk about how I'm just like a slut for like content. Like if I like a book, I'm like, I wish there were like 30 books in this series. I want more and more and more of them. And I was like, this is the opposite. I wish there were less and less of it. I want less of these
I've never
characters.
read a smart book and been like, I don't want this much smart.
Never.
Yeah.
I am such a smart hoe. And we were talking about this because I messaged you guys and I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this book. And then you guys came out and you were like, we haven't even started the second one, or I'm still struggling to get through the second one or whatever. And I was like, holy fuck, I thought I was alone. And we all pretty much said, too much sex. Like it was so difficult to read. At some point you were like, the chick's got...
It was like work.
She's got so, how does she take a shit? When does she, this poor girl is just plugged 24/7 for 5 months in this fucking book.
Well, the beginning of the second book, the first 200 pages,
It's the longest sex scene on the history of the earth.
4-page sex scene, 1-page rest day, 4-page sex scene, 1-page rest day, and it just goes
So
on like
boring.
that for 200 pages when she's in this cabin for 4 days or whatever. And it's not, and because it is polyamory, there's multiple partners in it, right? She's just going between different partner combinations.
Yeah.
She's making sure that she fits in all the possible different combinations of
I
partners.
love a reverse
Do you know what
harem.
this actually kind of reminded me as well was fucking
What?
Zodiac Academy, where every
Oh, yeah.
every meaningful
No.
scene was punctuated with a sex scene. So it'd be like, I love you, but and then they
Very
fuck.
true.
You deserve to be happy.
But at least
Fuck.
there was some kind of story.
There was. I will give Zodiac Academy credit where credit's due in that I read the entirety of Zodiac Academy and I finished it, and I much preferred it.
Thank you.
Yeah, if we were gonna this or that,
I actually feel so
these
fucking
two
vindicated
series,
right
I
now.
would
It's
pick
not even
Zodiac
funny.
Academy.
I feel very vindicated
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I feel like here's the thing. I love a reverse harem, and normally wouldn't bother me if this is what's going on. When I think of pucking around, even Zodiac Academy or any of the other reverse harems that we've read, there is some kind of storyline behind it. You can't have a reverse harem, I feel, and have no storyline. Otherwise, you just get confused and bored. And the problem with this book is I didn't know the difference between any of the characters except,
Neither did
Vincent
I.
and...
Neither did we.
But who the fuck is... what were their names? Jake?
Vincent, Jason,
Lewis? I don't
Lucas,
fucking know.
and Manson.
I don't care.
and
Because
Manson.
they were all one
And Jess.
person. The thing about freaking...
They were.
They were interchangeable.
Freaking... I feel very deeply about this. Fucking around. What was it? Zodiac Academy is that they all had individual personalities. I knew who the fuck we were talking about, when we were talking about them, the confusion I went through, all of their personalities were about cars and they were about something else, which I don't even fucking remember because I didn't give a shit. I don't care. It was like
shit. Interchangeable traumatized oldie boys. Like, that was all they were.
The trauma.
The way that you felt reading this book,
I can't. I'm getting really
and understanding
now.
And understanding the men is how I feel about every single reverse harem book. I have no clue what is going on when there's more than three people.
Fair enough, and I understand that completely. But in this instance, I feel like it was literally just like one guy with multiple personalities.
See, this is what I was telling you before, right? I was so excited. So I read the Dare, right? And I was like, wow, this is really hot. This is new. This is different. I've never read something so, like, kinky, but,
Lick
like,
my
so
shoe.
evolved into the, like, kink. It was such a good trope. The high school bully getting degraded in, like, a sexual way by the persons used to bully. What a good fucking trope, man.
Yeah. Great.
Why is she
like,
apologizing
for
3 fucking books?
You know?
Yeah.
I have so much to say. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
Okay. Anyway, so read that thing and I was like, wow, I've never read anything like this before. This is really hot. A part of me was like, man, am I into this? Do I want to lick someone's shoe? I wouldn't ever. But like for a second, I was like, I could do this. Man.
That's a good book.
You sure about
that? That makes you think that. Yeah. That's a good book.
You convinced me that I had a kink I didn't have, and that's why I like the Dare, right? But I thought what was going to happen was it was going to be Jess and Manson's redemption love story, and then maybe they just kind of played around with the other lads. Maybe there was like a sex club, or maybe there was something else. I didn't know it was polyamory reverse harem, right? So because in the Dare, those lads were such side characters. They were just there for like a form of their like sexual degradation and like fun. That I was like, no way that they're going to be like significant people in this like other book. I was wrong. Very wrong. They're a big part of the book, but they also suck. Like all of them suck. Like as people, they suck. And I had to remind myself that like they're 22 years old, right? So like maybe that gives them like a little.
I wouldn't even know that because I don't give a fuck. That's the thing. You stop giving a fuck after a while.
Maybe I give them like leeway, right? Because I was getting really bored of this like. Oh, it was like so sad. Like I'm so traumatized because I was bullied in high school. Like, bro, everybody was bullied in high school. It's high school. Nobody has a fun time in high school. Who is making it their personality at the age of 22? Like, move on. Get over it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, also, this is okay. And hear me out, right? You are the weird people in town. End of story. I'm sorry, you live in an isolated community where you work on cars and you will dress alternative and you're all in a polyamorous relationship. You are obviously not the most normal people in that town. Nothing wrong with any of those things. You're gonna attract attention. You shouldn't, but you are. Leave. If it's that bad,
like what the fuck are you waiting for? It takes a real estate agent. I can tell you fact. It takes a real estate agent. I don't care what the fucking house looks like, what condition it's in. I live with one. It can take them maybe a month to sell a place. Maybe in the middle of fucking
even
nowhere.
Even if it's not fully done up. Why were they so obsessed?
Why are they so
redoing?
Pack your shit, go to New York where, I don't know, people fuck anything that breathes, and then, you know, nobody's going to give a fuck.
But also, why did they think that being alternative and polyamorous in a different town, in a different area of America, was going to be any easier for them? Surely the arc of this book should be just coming to terms with the fact that they're always going to be the weird outcasts in town.
I just honestly would have preferred to shit in my hands and smear it on my face.
That's my favorite part in this book. My favorite part of this whole like series is that I haven't finished it. I DNF'd it, and now that we've recorded the episode, I have no incentive to finish it.
We never have to finish it.
I can just delete it.
I paid for this. This is what. Let me get into that now. Okay, are you ready for this? I wanted to bring this up as well. We all know how I feel about paying for books. If it's the fucking Odyssey, take my money. Okay? This is the fucking worst thing out there. Kindle Unlimited doesn't deserve this. Okay? But put it on Kindle Unlimited because people are going to be very... well, I don't know. The three of us were very disappointed.
It's what you would expect, though, right? You'd be like, it's on Kindle Unlimited. I can't expect a fucking masterpiece. But
it's
then,
banned.
But then, like, it's
banned. That's why it's on Kindle Unlimited.
Is it banned?
Yeah,
What, just
what
for being too kinky?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a ban. It's on the
Imagine
banned
getting
list.
banned off Kindle Unlimited. Was it the pissing scene?
Maybe it's because... oh, did they piss?
Did you get to the pissing scene?
What's the pissing scene?
Yeah.
I didn't get to it.
Lucas pisses on her.
Scene.
He gives her a golden shower. They do some water sports.
Oh, that's nice for them.
Do you know how I feel about liquids?
In it, they talk about how like the smell like turns them on.
Okay, not to yuck anyone's yum.
That pushed my limits.
Not to yuck anyone's yum, but like, I'm sorry. I'm so glad I DNF'd as early as I did because I physically just couldn't even turn the
I read
page.
it with a face.
This is someone's comfort read. Like, they reread it. People are on TikTok being like, comfort read.
You know what my comfort read is? Is fucking Gemma Weir's Mountain Men, where they're like, I love you, let me take you to my cave. Like, that is as bad as it gets.
My comfort read is like Scarlett St. Clair's like Hades and Persephone series that I've read like a million times because it's so simple.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
My comfort read isn't getting pissed on. And it's fine if you like that, but like, warn me.
She actually does have a very comprehensive list of
I didn't see water
triggers.
sports.
I really dislike water sports as well, to be fair. I'm not into the whole spitting and pissing. And...
even the cum scene and pucking around was a lot for me. You expect me to stomach like
no, because I didn't even know what happened. I didn't even know what happened because I gave up. Okay? This is the first time the three of us have DNS something and we were just like okay with it. I don't think we've actually ever done it.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, at the exact same time because we just couldn't handle it anymore.
Oh no, there is
and DNF'd
in the content note. Bodily fluids, including blood and piss play.
Oh, I missed it. But yeah, DNF'd because there was too much sex.
That's why I DNF'd it.
Like,
but you know what?
But that's what I mean. Like,
the story was so
imagine
shit.
DNFing a smut book because there was too much.
I think it was just like
all
too much hardcore sex.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if they mixed it up and they put a little bit of like lovey-dovey shit in the middle, being like, oh, you know, I just want to have like, not to say normal, but like vanilla sex.
Vanilla?
Do you know what I mean?
Or just like,
this
is
like question, right?
Sex, like where you just like,
let's just have some...
but like you don't need it to last like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I have a question, and I really need someone like prominent in the BDSM community to answer me this, right? If you're into like a kink, like an extreme kink, like they are, which is like degradation and like pet play and all of like this quite aggressive, violent sex where they feel like they hurt each other. Do you have to have sex like that every
I can answer that for you. I do know people in that area and they do not. Because you're never going to find... Because you're not going to find a partner who's going to be into all of the same things, right? So
you need to give people time to recover.
Yeah.
You know, like say you're in a relationship with somebody and you're you know, like you're using knives on them, you're like doing like really rough sex, you're restraining them, like you can't be doing that like 3 times a week.
Let's talk about the anal scenes on their camp away trip. Or whatever the fuck trip they were on. This chick got fucked in the ass like 10 times in a row. Okay? That is not actually good for you at all. Do not recommend. Don't do that. Give your ass a break.
You're a mess with your control.
Yes. I'm surprised
everywhere.
she didn't shit all over them along with pissing. Like, come on.
Man.
That would have been a lot.
Oh, it wasn't a lot already?
Yeah.
Should we add?
It was a lot. But I didn't realize that there was another limit to my limit, and you just found it.
See, that piss scene, like, I don't have a hard limit on bodily fluids. Like, both of you don't like it, but I don't mind it. Piss would be, like, pushing it quite hard. But that was just, like, too much for me, the way they described it.
I don't want to know.
The way that they
I'm
talked
okay
about
with knowing.
how the scent was arousing. Like, that's too much for me.
I think the thing about this book, right, is you had to suspend your belief so much because you went from regular 19-year-old girl who was like mean at school, who's just discovered she's into kink, to like 3 years later, never probably doing anything kinky because she hasn't been around these men, re-entering the world of kink to like 3 months later being pissed on. You know, like it's
you would never.
It's a lot of progression.
If you went into a BDSM community and they were like, oh, we learnt in an underground fucking rah rah. If you learnt in an underground rah rah, you'd know that it takes time to get somebody up to that level. Even the level that they started off with, it takes time to get somebody up to that level. Even with the dare, like, yes, okay, fine, kinky, we loved it. But you would never do that to somebody in their first BDSM session. So I wouldn't take this as
and like in the middle of a party.
Yeah, I wouldn't take this as
you're
gospel,
like, here,
obviously.
Suck all these
If you're interested in BDSM, this is not the correct books for BDSM. But I do have a very important question for you guys.
What is it?
Icebreaker or The Losers?
That's rough, and I finished Icebreaker for as long.
I finished it.
I don't know. I think I'd prefer to put my head down the toilet and flush than either.
But when we talk about The Losers, I don't want to include the dare in that because I really like the dare.
Amazing.
The dare, great. So Losers, bad.
Yeah. You know what annoyed me as well? And I was telling George this as well because, you know, I just couldn't keep it to myself. She gets kidnapped, but she doesn't get kidnapped. She just gets put in a trunk at a gas station.
Yeah, Beanie and I were talking about that, and I was like, yeah, they make a big deal about her getting kidnapped, but like, no, this was at the very start of book 2.
This is like
when they take her away in camping.
Okay.
They make a really big deal about like kidnapping her and how she wants to be kidnapped, but they just like pick her up from her house and then just like walk her around to the trunk and she just gets in.
I actually thought that was very strange as well. I remember thinking that. I was like, what do you mean you knocked on the door? I thought you were going to like break into a room or something. You guys were sitting on the tree outside and doing this crazy shit. You broke security systems, and the one time that you're meant to actually kidnap her, you knock on the front fucking door.
Yeah,
and then they take her inside and immediately like not treat her as like a kidnapping victim. Like I was like, oh look, it's gonna be like a whole fantasy. Like they're gonna lock her away and like only use her for like sex or whatever. Like
make her serve them.
Yeah, like what she was explaining, like how she wants to be like their sex slave or fucking whatever. I don't know. And then like they immediately enter the house. They
do you want
to
go
get rid of all of her restraints. They like fuck her and then they like put her in a bath.
Yeah, like go and relax.
I don't know, man. I feel like if we keep talking about it, we're just gonna fucking hate it so much more.
I do want to point out as well that I previously really wanted to read her Souls books that she wrote, like Her Soul to Take. What else is there? Her Soul for Revenge, because they're also meant to be really, really fucking good. And now I'm like, I'm not gonna read them. Like it's just not happening.
But the thing is, I know she.
But what if they're
write.
like as good as the
dare?
dare?
I know, but I'm like, I don't want to. It takes me like a really long time to figure out if I am actually going to DNF a book or not. Because like 90% of the time, I'll just finish the book because I feel like I'm obligated to finish it once I've started it. But
what's funny is we.
I don't want to have to go through all that again.
I fully understand that. What's funny is that we literally on the same day DNF'd. All of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
And it was not planned.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, we're all going to DNF this. No, like we messaged each other and we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like it was just too far.
We had to like feel it out. We always do this when we're reading books. So we like to save all of our reactions to the podcast so they're authentic, right? So we do this little thing in message where we feel it out. We're like, how's everybody going?
Yeah.
And we wait for the first person to be like, I fucking hate this book, so we can be like, yes, we also hate it. Thank you so much.
And this year we had a lot of that.
Intense,
if you go through our WhatsApp history, it's literally just us going, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, like it'll start off real gentle. Like I'm pretty sure like, we were talking about Icebreaker. There are messages from Benny being like, "So pretty sure it's not my vibe." It just like devolved.
And now I'm pretty sure I messaged being like, "This is the fucking worst fucking thing on the planet." And it got to the point where we were just like laughing at each other's comments because I was like, I can't read any more sex. Like, save us.
Yeah. I need a really good plot now. I've matured.
I just need Gemma Weir in my life. And can I just say something? I actually want to point something out. You know how we're in Australia and New Zealand? Obviously, we all know that. Do you know that we get books first? This is the only thing we get first.
Yeah,
We never get movies first.
Yes.
We never fucking get anything else first. We're always last.
Oh, we sometimes got movies first.
We
sometimes
not like a Hollywood movie.
Actually, no, Betty and I went to go see a movie twice in this past week because we liked it so much, but we got it a day before anybody else.
Yeah.
Rare that it happens.
Yeah.
No, sometimes they do a lot of tests. Sometimes they do test screenings in New Zealand for new releases to see how it's going to bode in like other places and how many like screenings in cinemas.
Right, that doesn't happen in Australia, so maybe New Zealand's a different place.
It's because we're small. It's like a controlled environment.
But Gemma, every single book that Gemma Weir has released since I found her, I've been the first to review, and this is the first one that I haven't.
That's
because
so
it's
sad.
fucking
That's so upsetting.
Duet, which I fucking hate and has ruined my life with the Gemma Weir situation. I'm done.
Yeah. I had the similar thing with Saffron A. Kent. She released You Beautiful Thing You, which I've been looking forward to reading since we interviewed her, and just came out the other week. And I was just sitting there staring at part one of The Losers while I was thinking about this book.
This book put me into a book slump. I don't want to read anything.
That's so sad.
Well, and
I don't.
Next week well, not next week, but the week after, we have another Duet and novella to read.
The Raped series.
The Raped one.
And I hope it's
if
good,
it's not,
because it's like kind of fantasy.
I hope it's like kind of fantasy paranormal. It's like death. Death is like the love.
I'm going to tell you straight up, if it's not, I'm DNFing it early. I don't have time for this shit. I am so done with the shit books.
Okay, well, we'll read the novella, and we'll see if it's a vibe, and otherwise, if it's not, we'll find like a nice little Christmas novella or something.
Yeah. That seems like a great plan.
Okay.
I'm hearing you.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
I'm with the plan.
Ola's grumpy.
I am grumpy because I feel like, especially now, we're all so busy, and to read a shit book is just such a freaking disappointment, because it would be.
It's hard.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we have such busy lives.
It's like I'm running out of time. I have only got so many weeks left.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying. But like, I don't want to spend my whole year next year. I'm afraid. I don't want to spend my whole year next year reading 75% shit books like we did this year.
I think we're going to have to be really careful next year too, because our schedules are going to be fucked, because I'm going to be full-time back at nursing school, and I'm going to be on placement for like 6 months out of the year, doing crazy shift work. Betty's going to be on her shift work, like
uni
like
shift
you've
work.
started this crazy ass job.
I've started this crazy ass job where I actually realized I don't.
I'm also writing my dissertation next year.
Yeah, Betty's going back to university as well. She's doing her fucking thesis. So
welcome to podcasting, guys. We've done well. We're gonna have to be on the strictest schedule yet, and we haven't adhered to a single schedule.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to just start recording whenever we get like a free moment. Like,
and that was this week.
Yeah.
You'll just get like a week in our life.
It's literally like I have to go soon, because if I don't, then I might actually keel over and kill someone if I don't put food in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week.
Awful.
It's been a rough year.
Awful when it comes to books, and it's quite sad, but I do hope that we finish strong.
Are we watching in real time the rise and downfall of
I really hope not. I really fucking hope not. Don't even bring that out in the universe. Touch all the wood. Touch it all.
Because I was looking at the Goodreads review, like Goodreads nominations for Book of the Year.
Awful, wasn't it?
What were they?
Awful books.
It was awful. Well, and
it's like Hannah
on
Grace
there,
is on,
which was like cool. It was like King of
Hannah
Pie.
Grace
She's
on
on there
like,
every
the
year.
Second Wildfire.
She's an every year person.
Yeah, but the rest of them, normally she has like some pretty solid competition. This year the competition was not great.
Yeah, like Wildfire, the second book to Icebreaker, like that was up for nomination.
Yeah,
but we haven't read it. But here's the thing:
those covers.
She introduced everyone in the first book. We don't know if the second book is good or not. Maybe she. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we can't judge it. We haven't read it.
You know, like those romance books with the covers where it's like kind of cartoony.
Yeah, they have a alternative
that
cover.
was like all of them. all of the books on the
Yeah,
nominated.
That's probably why, because they're the
They
most
all have,
popular
like, the
books, like the
cartoony-
Lily Golds.
Because they're like fun and happy. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them was called like Pride and Prejudice in New York City.
I hate Pride
I
and
don't know
Prejudice
why,
retellings.
that just annoyed me.
It's fucking sacrilegious. Pride and Prejudice is a really, really good story. It doesn't need to
I
be
actually
changed.
agree with you completely, and I think
Yeah.
that is really, that you should go to jail. Go
I
straight
There is
to
so
jail.
much
like,
debt.
annoyed
Don't
me.
even
in
pass
that
go.
story.
Don't collect $200. Go straight to fucking jail. Okay? Bye. Bye, honey.
Do we have to have?
Bye.
Do we still like? Are we still doing retelling? Like, have we not retold all the stories to be?
Do you know what I want to do next year? I want to do
What?
Hooked by Emily McIntyre.
I want to do that one too, because remember, I thought that we did it on the podcast, but it turns out I just read it by myself. And I got confused why you guys weren't remembering it.
But it's a good book. I've heard that is legitimately an actual.
It was really
yes,
good.
I've heard it's unreal. We're doing that book next year.
It
Maybe
was real.
we need to
Oh,
get
so good.
better at like.
I think so.
researching Books. Maybe we're just a bit too like
G,
hither thither when it comes
book us
to
in
books.
for a
Yeah.
board meeting because we have a lot to do.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
Okay, guys.
I think it's so like we definitely need to hit some rereads, like some other books that I've read this year that I've enjoyed. I'm pulling them out next year. No more of this. None of us have read it. Haven't really heard too much about it. Bullshit.
Betty's the queen of that. Because the way that she was choosing books this year was through rating systems. And
I was on the Discover section of Kindle Unlimited.
and she there was one point where she found a series and it was just so fucked up, and I was like, Betty, we cannot do this. Like, I don't even know how it's got a rating that high, even from
like,
the
well, that's a
blurb.
fun title.
But the thing is, like, we've read through the reviews, and the issue with reviews is that you've got people like Marina, or whatever her fucking name is, who gives 1 star to everything. So you don't know if you can trust it or not. And then you've just got people who are ARC readers, or they're obsessed with that specific author, or they're too nice, and they're not us. Like, the other day, I was invited into a book group, and they were like, how about you choose the book because you're the pickiest? Like, that is
That's so funny.
the vibe that we give out. We're so fucking picky.
Value yourself.
Thank you.
Value
And
your
value
time.
your eyes.
Be picky.
And value what your eyes are seeing.
Be picky.
Because if they read shit like The Losers and you genuinely give it a 5 stars, we're going to have a conversation. And I know that people have
Do you think
Losers shit
there's a-
tattooed on them.
Yeah.
This is like, I actually personally know someone whose first book tattoo was from The Losers Duet.
Oh no. That's sad.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Just don't.
Because
No,
it's
because
under
I know this person.
body
Yeah, no,
cavity,
don't.
right?
Like, I'm confused as to why, and I'm going to have a conversation with them about it because I don't understand.
Do you remember when that book The Secret came out? Like the
Yes.
self-help
And Oprah
book?
went mental.
There was like this
Yeah.
part. Yeah, there's like this part in it that says like you become like the average of the people that you surround yourself with. So like if you surround yourself with like nice people, you'll be a nice person. Like if you only read really bad books,
you will become a bad book.
You start to think that that's okay.
Yeah.
Like your own standards get lowered.
Yeah.
Like, so just read good books. Keep your standards high.
Yeah, it's not about quantity. It's about quality. We're getting to a point in reading where everyone's like, I can read this many books a year. And I'm like, babe, if you've only read 5 books this year and they're like some of the best books that I've ever written, like, you're winning. As opposed to the person that's read like 200 of the worst written books.
It's a weird flex, isn't it? Because like I read a lot of books in a year, and I know you guys do too, mainly because of the podcast, but also because we are like
Avid
quite
readers.
extreme readers. But it's like,
Yeah.
but we don't go like real mad about it. Like we don't go around like telling everybody how many books we've read. I don't know. Like it's a weird flex to be like, I have read 300 books.
Last year I did
It's like,
actually read
get a
300
job.
books.
Get a hobby.
Last year I did actually read 300 books.
Yeah, well, get a fucking
Oh,
job. and a
I
hobby
did,
or
and now I can barely get through like the ones that we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. What happens
Dude,
when you get a job where you can't read on the
hobbies.
I
job?
know. I got a job that I can't read
Yeah.
on the job because my previous job I was getting away with it. This job, I can't even listen. I had to take lunch at my desk today. while I was working.
No.
I was really sad because I enjoy going outside in the sunshine and walking around during my lunch break. No.
You know what I had for lunch today? A muesli bar
I love
on the go.
muesli bars.
As I was running around the ward.
Yeah.
Man.
This has been a very depressing episode.
I have been reading less because I've started knitting again quite like feverishly. Like I've been knitting like for hours every day.
Knitting feverishly.
But like just all of a
That's a good way
sudden
to
like
put
a
it.
switch like flicked. I've just been like cranking out like
Running
so
a
much stuff
sweatshop.
that I'm not good enough at knitting to not look at it. So I can't read at the same time. So I like watch TV because I don't really need to like look
I
at
know
the TV.
people
just,
who like
glance up at it every now
crochet
and then.
and read at the same time. But do you know what they have? They've set themselves up. They have one of those like Kindle holder things where it like presses the button. For imagine being at that level that they have a clicker.
That would be okay, eh? Once you got that set, you just push your wee button. You don't have to like fuck around with like trying to balance it on your lap and like hold your thing.
Yeah, no, they have a special like knitting crocheting chair, and they have like this big, almost like a lamp style Kindle holder in front of their faces, and they sit back knitting and then like clicking.
I don't think I'm that passionate about anything.
I thought that as well. I thought it was fucking crazy when I saw it.
I've seen it. If I don't want to hold my Kindle, then I'm done reading. Reading's done. Good night.
Yeah. I like to read lying down, and I just hold my Kindle with one hand and I push it into the bed, so I'm like sideways.
That's what I
do. And then I tap with my
I think about that Kindle, and I think about how when you charge it, it just fucking shuts down and shits itself and goes back.
I never charge it to 100%. That's the trick.
Because I remember
charge it to like 80.
losing my goddamn fucking shit with that Kindle, just like charging it and reading at the same time as charging, and it would just like shut down and go back like 15 chapters. And I was like, that's it. Yeah. Somebody else is getting this like, Kindle, and George was like me.
Yeah. Because I like the only time I ever charged it to 100%, I was like, why won't it turn on? And I just like plugged it in again, and it like got it like so angry that it went flat again. I was like, what?
Yeah, that Kindle had like fucking Ola PTSD or something. Like I think I just like read too many books on it.
Yeah, probably. You like hurt its little brain.
Sometimes when I'm feeling like lazy and I want to read, I will just like read on my laptop.
You could just put it on your lap.
I know, I could just and I'll just like flick through. Like
then you don't have to hold it.
And the screen's really big, so I've got a lot of like words per screen, you know? I can spend a couple minutes.
That reminds me of reading fan fictions on my laptop when I was like 14, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
All that reminds me of is when Betty, George and I used to work together, and Betty was like, you got to read this comic. And we were reading Laura Olympus. And I was like, Betty, what the fuck? I can't get through it fast enough. But I can't. I stare at
comics are weird, because you just scroll constantly.
Yeah, like I literally I stare at a computer screen all day long. From 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m. I'm done with it. I want to use my Kindle.
Yeah. I love reading on like my Kindle or my phone sometimes compared to real books, because I can make the screen like white text on black background, and it just like feels nice on my eyes. It's like moisturizing them.
I do it every night.
Blanket for them.
Once it hits 8 p.m., it's going to black background.
Switching.
Yeah. Bye.
I have a lot of technology from when I was at school, and it doesn't get the love it needs. So sometimes I just like to make sure my laptop's included in my life.
I only open my laptop to record these episodes. That's it.
Yes. That's the only time I use my laptop is to record these episodes.
Everything else is just on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I get this fucking laptop? Because when I was studying, I used it for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, when I was studying, I used it all the time, but I have.
Well, you're studying again soon, so your laptop's gonna get a workout.
Dude, I have like 2 assignments next year. Like nursing school is mainly practical.
I'm talking about
Betty. I'm working for free. Oh, Betty. Yeah, Betty has to write
20,000 words.
Betty has to write a novella.
Just make sure it's good. If you'd like some honest opinions, send it to G and I.
I'm not gonna
yeah, because we're gonna understand. We're gonna go like, Betty, this is not
Betty,
engaging.
this is shit.
I was bored.
Yeah, too much sex.
There wasn't much plot.
Too much sex, not enough sex. It would be weird if there was sex.
It would
because
be
I'm
weird.
talking about neurodivergent people in crime.
Oh.
Betty did say she was gonna formally thank Sadie in her thesis, and I like that
I
because
will.
it has to be published, so people can look at it and go like, "Who's Sadie?"
You know that song?
I'm gonna do that.
You know that song? It's
Yeah.
about a dog.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they
Aw.
released it 2 days ago. They were like, we can finally tell you who it's about. And it's about their dog that they had.
That's so funny.
Well, my dissertation will be only for Sadie. I'm not gonna thank anybody. I'm not even gonna thank my
I think you should
supervisor.
thank
I'm just gonna be
G&I.
like, thank you.
No,
Well,
just
for
Sadie.
being here.
Sadie puts in the hard work.
She does put in the hard yards.
so hard.
Yeah.
What did she do? What were you like? She came in, punched me in the face, then walked out.
She did do that.
Oh.
Guys, I need
Nice.
to eat something.
Yeah, I'm
We
tired.
got an author.
Samantha
next
Young.
week.
We do it, Samantha Young.
We do, and it's gonna be lots of fun, and we're gonna like this book.
Of course we
We are gonna like
are.
this book. I have good vibes. I think I might be like developing like premonition things about books that we're gonna like, and I have a good feeling about it.
There's
I have a good feeling about this one as well. Scottish Highland, yes, please.
just quickly before we go, in one of the group chats, I'm in a book chat. They created a sticker of my vagina is the universe, and it's in Ola's vagina we trust, because once I was like, my vagina tells me that this book is going to be amazing, and so now they asked me, they created stickers for their Kindles, and it says in Ola's vagina we trust with like it's like a vagina with like stars coming out of it.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
I would not want to be immortalized that way.
I don't care.
That's your
I
legacy,
actually want
Ola.
it so I can put it on my Kindle.
You should get the rights to it so we could just fucking give them to our listeners.
Yeah.
Ola's vagina we trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust in it.
I
So
don't
why the
trust
fuck
it.
would you want
I
it
don't
on
know
the
where the thing's
podcast?
been.
Because it doesn't matter what we want. Give the people what they want. That's not how business works. It's supply and demand.
Yeah, if you trusted us to make decisions, everybody would be
Oh
miserable.
my god, don't even talk to me
We are
about
not
it.
the fan favorites of this episode.
This is the worst. I think easily this is the most negative episode we've ever done. So to that lady who wrote in about the negative person on this episode, don't listen to this one.
Now the negative person is all of
Yeah.
us. It's
We're
not
done.
just Biddy. There's 3 of
The
us
negative
now.
person is the friends we made along the way.
So I was never this negative.
Yeah.
At the beginning of last year, I was like, I love this. I'll give it 25 stars. You've destroyed me.
You were overwhelmingly positive.
Destroyed me.
I remember
Yeah.
I remember like when we first started recording, me and Biddy making jokes about how bad a book was, and you were like, "You cannot." say
Yes.
that." And now it's like
And now you're like,
the
I
volume
want to
has
kill
been turned up.
everybody.
You guys made
I wanna
me
set this
mean.
fucking book on
I
fire.
used to be so nice. You guys made me mean.
I wish they still burned books.
Yeah, I do. Burn the fucking witches in the books.
If I had to read another page of this, I was gonna kill myself. And we were like, oh, it's a bit rough.
It was so shit. Do you know what it is?
It was just really upsetting, though, wasn't it?
I was
It was
very
actually
upset.
genuinely upsetting
I was
because
very upset.
the hopes were high.
We were
and then they
all
were dashed.
so excited. And when I say that we were all so excited, we'd been talking about this for a while. We were like, great, we're not going to be disappointed by that week. The Losers Duet is coming up. G said that the fucking prequel was amazing.
Right.
We're ready for it. It's going to be... And then I was like, am I missing something? Turns
You're
out I
like
wasn't.
you
Yeah.
do start to question
I've just
yourself,
turned-
don't you? Like
I've
Biddy
just
said,
turned into
you do
Jane
go, you go
Hetty.
like, is it me? Like, am I? Yeah,
Am I the problem?
am I the problem? You know, like, am I just not vibing with like any book at the moment? But then I was like, no, because I could just read another book and I'd like it.
Yeah. You start to be like, am I a fucking idiot? Like, am I
Yeah.
missing something? Do I not
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
it?
like, did I miss like some really key component?
Did I miss, like,
It's
can
Can I not
Did
read
we-
anymore?
There wasn't a key component. That's the secret,
Did I not get 50 pages in the book that explained a plot somewhere? Like, what happened?
right?
All right, Samantha Young. Can't wait for you,
So
babes.
silly.
It's gonna be such a lovely episode, and sounds like she's really lovely because I don't know, most like small town like romance authors are like really sweet.
She's the one that did the On Dublin Street series.
Yeah, so I feel like she's gonna be a sweetheart.
My vagina says it's gonna be a great week. However, I'm not gonna be there. So you guys have fun with Samantha.
No. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Well, tell your vagina to stay out of it then.
Yeah. Stay at home.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Thank you for listening to Girls Who Read Porn. Follow us at Girls Who Read Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And for all business inquiries, please send us an email on girlswhoreadporn@gmail.com. Art created by Jessica Wanney, and music made by Dane Forgy Stevens. See you next week, and stay smutty, team.